What's going on, everyone? I'm Vulkan, and today we are talking Blue Protocol. So, Blue Protocol is an online action RPG that's been in development for what seems like forever. But recently at the Game Awards, Blue Protocol did drop a new trailer along with a release window of the second half of 2023. So, while that's like a year away, at least we do have an inkling of when to expect this game to hit. But that's not all. We also have some brand new information from a Blue Protocol developer stream that talks about some new features and it pulls the cover off the monetization plans for the game, which I know a lot of you guys are interested to talk about. So let's get into this thing, starting with some platform and publisher info. We'll go through the new features and we'll talk about monetization. You can check the timestamps in the timeline below to skip to your favorite parts. Okay, so starting off, let's talk consoles. Bandai Namco have officially confirmed that Blue Protocol will be releasing on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S in Japan, so you can kind of assume they'll probably have the same platforms for global. On top of that, the big question we always get, right, is whether there will be cross-play features. Right now, that hasn't been decided yet. They're still kind of tossing that idea around. Hopefully they do. I think 2023 is probably a good year to start implementing those cross-play things. But beyond that, that's all we know right now. So let's talk publishers, because I know this is another kind of rubbing point for some folks. So here's what we got. So Bandai Namco is the publisher for Japan. Cayenne Tech is the publisher for Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Macau. Smilegate Megaport is the publisher for Korea. And Amazon Games will be the publisher for North America, Europe, South America, and New Zealand. So just for you guys that don't know, the publishers are going to handle things like promotion, marketing, management of the game. They're going to provide the servers. They're going to update the servers. So truly, for those of us in North America, where I'm located, we're going to be dealing with Amazon Games. And you can kind of expect they're going to handle it similarly to Lost Ark or New World. So hopefully they learned a lot from those two games, and we're going to have a wonderful experience with Blue Protocol. But for some of you that may have had a sour experience, just know Amazon's who you're going to be dealing with for this one. Okay, so that's console info and publisher. Let's talk about the new features we can expect for Blue Protocol. So we're going to start things off with a basic one, but people really love it, myself included, and that's fishing. So fishing in Blue Protocol is going to be a pretty simple state of affairs. To fish, you walk up to a body of water and you interact with it. You'll pull out a fishing pole, cast your line, and then once you begin fishing, there will be a tension gauge, sort of how they have in New World. So basically, reel in your line, don't let your tension get too high, and that's it, profit. So they say for now, fishing is just a mini game which will allow you to catch fish for your own enjoyment. You do have the ability to sell fish, which you have caught, so that is something you could do. They plan to develop it out a little bit more, but they did say that it's going to take a long period of time to do that. So they wanted to release it as a standalone sort of mini game by itself first. They plan to introduce more meaning behind life skills in general with future updates, but just know for now, it's sort of just a very simple watered down version of fishing. And to keep with the water theme, we do have swimming. So they say in previous test phases, you were only able to swim at a fixed speed and only get out of water when you found stairs. Now you're able to dash in the water to move faster or jump out of the water onto ground as long as the ledge is not too high. So it's just a better overall swimming experience and one that New World could definitely learn from. So let's talk about camping. So you're out, you're fishing, you're swimming, you're having a great time, summer vacation, but you want to go and you want to camp. So the development team has added camping areas in field zones. Now the camping area allows you to restore your health by interacting with tree trunks or by simply sitting down and using an emote. Now, these areas are away from enemy mobs, so you don't have to worry about getting into combat or getting blown up while you're trying to rest. So that is a nice thing. I like that. It's completely safe. But if you do have threat or aggro on enemies and you're running into a camping area, they will immediately reset before reaching the area. So you do have kind of a de-aggro and a get out of combat scenario that'll happen whenever you enter these safe spots. Now they did say for convenience, they have placed portals around the field zones, which allow you to teleport to camping areas on each parts of the map. And with this feature, you're going to be able to directly teleport to camping areas instead of having to ride your echoes to get to certain parts of the map. So they made getting around a little bit easier and made it a little bit more instant, which is great. But you will still have to activate the portal before being allowed to use it. Up next, let's talk about the roaming chefs. So in addition to having all these different camping areas, you also have some chefs, these NPCs, that are going to be available in each area. Now, these gourmet chefs are going to give you a buff based on the costume color they're wearing, and each camping area will have one of 3 colors available, which basically means there's probably 3 buffs that you can get. We don't know what these buffs are, but they are out there, and this is something that you probably want to interact with to make sure you're at full strength before you get back out into combat. Next thing we have is the Beauty Salon. So the Beauty Salon is a new feature that was added in order to have the ability to customize your character outside of your first creation, right? So you go through, you create your character, you're like, ah man, I hate that hairstyle. Let's get to it. Go visit a beauty salon, and you're gonna be able to make those adjustments. Now, to kind of build on the beauty salon, we also have the dye shop. So the dye shop allows you to customize the colors of clothing that your character can wear. And the parts you can dye are your hat, upper body, gloves, lower body, and shoes. And you can also change the color patterns, saturation levels, the brightness level of your different outfits. Now, not all clothing can be dyed, but clothes that can be dyed will have a mark, like an icon, showing, hey, you can adjust this. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is the Rewards Plus system. So the Rewards Plus system allows you to gain extra rewards from a particular mission or dungeon that you do by yourself or with a party. Now, this whole system is designed for the casual player, right? The busy parents, the college students, the folks who just don't have a ton of hours to sit down and grind out a game. You know, you have an hour to an hour and a half each night, and you're like, man, I really want to get some stuff done. This is where this Rewards Plus system comes into play, because this system gives you some incredibly good rewards to help keep you from feeling like you're being left behind. So because these rewards are so strong, they did limit the amount of tickets you can have, these Rewards Plus tickets, to 10. Now, in order to get these things, you can get them for free from certain events in the world. You can earn 1 Rewards Plus ticket for free each day. The tickets are naturally refreshed 3 times within a certain time period. The devs did not go into the time period, so that can mean maybe login hours throughout a number of days. Is it 3 times a week? So not entirely sure. However, they will also do certain events where you can purchase more of them from the cash shop. But the developers did kind of tiptoe around this a little bit. They said this system is very powerful, so they're going to limit the cash shop purchases too, so these don't appear too often. So that's something to keep in mind. It sounds like a cool system. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about being able to purchase them through the cash shop. I feel the natural refresh over the course of a day is fine, but who knows? Maybe this is just something they'll scrap later on. Not entirely sure. Okay, so speaking of group content, let's talk about the Unbroken Tower. This is a brand new piece of content that got added to the game. It's a dungeon system. So you have about 20 floors you need to clear in 20 minutes, right? So a floor a minute, not too bad. Additionally, you only have 12 revives that you can use before you fail and you're kicked out. And for those of you hardcore players out there, there are different difficulties that you can set in order to earn better rewards. So once you are inside the Unbroken Tower, you are given a task, something like defeat these 3 enemies, find this 1 boss. Once you complete that task, then you can advance to the next floor by having any of the party members go interact with the teleporter. Now, this whole piece of content is designed to be a gauntlet. However, there will be some floors that have a rest station that'll allow you to heal up. And then after that, you can continue climbing the tower and trying to get through all of the floors. So this sounds pretty cool. I like it. I like things like this where you sort of have to climb up and you have sort of a gauntlet type of approach. Typically games that implement these, I will almost always do this feature. I really like this type of content. I'm very simple when it comes to that, but I'm really excited to see them add this and I want to get in there and test it out. Okay, so let's talk about monetization. So this is going to be a big thing that I think a lot of people are going to either like and be like, oh, that's not too bad. Or people are going to be like, you know what? Blue Protocol is now off my list. So let's talk about it. Okay, so Blue Protocol will be a free to play game. However, it will include some monetization. You're going to have a season pass. You're going to have a cash shop called the Regnus store. You're going to have a gacha system, which we don't know about that one quite yet. We don't know if it's just characters. We don't know if it's pets. We just know there will be a gacha system built in. We do have rose orbs, a point store, and the season store. Now, all of these, except for the point store and the season store, you use rose orbs to make those purchases, and these are the premium currency, right? So these are the crystals, these are the dark crystals in Tower of Fantasy, the primo gems in Genshin Impact. So this is sort of that version of that. So here's a really cool little graphic that was put together by Blue Protocol Database, which, by the way, amazing website. Most of this info has come from that website, so highly, highly, highly recommend going and checking that one out. They do a great job at putting everything together. But anyway, so this graphic just kind of shows, here's everything you're going to be able to purchase. Weapon skins, accessories, beauty shop parts, gestures, dyeing and tinting, so different dyes. You have flavor items, stamps, mounts. You have the season pass, I'm guessing premium and free. You have use items like experience boosts and healing items like potions. You have active quest skips where you can skip different quests, which is going to be interesting. We'll see how that works. You have strengthening help. So that's going to be like crafting success rate up. That's something that I'm kind of not really that fond of, because it makes me think that if you're able to purchase these type of things, then they're going to make the success rate brutal. You know, Lost Ark comes to mind. You get to the point where you're trying to upgrade your gear, and it's a incredibly low success percentage, and you basically have to pound your head against a wall in order to get that up. And then once you get it up, you finally progress to the next thing, and you start the process all over. And all during this time, you're consuming materials and resources that you went out and farmed, and it's just not a great gameplay loop. So I'm hoping they don't take that route where they make it so painful for free-to-play players that you have to purchase something or quit the game. And then the last thing is the additional reward plus usages, which we talked about those earlier, those reward plus tickets for the casual players out there. So there's that. Really for me, I think I'm okay with the cosmetic stuff, right? I'm okay with being able to purchase skins, make your character look a certain way or cool or whatever. If you want stamps, mounts are fine as long as we do get free mounts in the game as well. Obviously, that's okay. Go buy your premium mount as long as there's no gameplay affecting things that come with it. Like if you own this mount, you get a 30% increased crit rate, like nothing like that, hopefully. But yeah, the strengthening help, the use items, and the quest skips are all ones that I'm sort of drawing a big question mark over, because these really kind of seem like they could be gameplay altering. And because this game is still so far away, a lot of this is subject to change. But for now, those are the ones that I'm really hoping that they either walk back or they're not as impactful as they're making them sound. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is the season pass, because again, this is going to be one of those things that I think people are going to either love or hate. So the season pass is going to last for 50 to 60 days. That's sort of the cycle, the season length. And then after that, a new season will show up with a new season pass. So the maximum level that a free-to-play player can earn is up to level 60 on that pass. Then the paid season pass holder will go up to level 100 and can claim the rewards from both the free and the premium tab. So they get an extra 40 levels worth of materials, upgrades, cosmetics, whatever is coming with this. We don't know right now, but whatever is going to be coming with the season pass, it's an extra 40 levels. So how do you progress your season pass? So as you go and you clear certain raids or quests, you can level up your pass using something called season points, and these are earned through those raids or quests, and you're going to be able to use these to obtain the next set of rewards, right? Level it up, you're level 2, claim your thing. Level 3, claim your thing. Now, the season points can also be used to access the season store, which has a lot of things like costumes, gacha tickets, different mounts, different accessories, all of these things we talked about earlier. You can use season points to purchase those. Now, on top of all that, we also do have the premium rose orbs. Remember those? These are the crystals, the primo gems. These can be used to raise the level of your season pass as well. But if you do it this way, you do not get any season points. So you can't go in and use a bunch of rose orbs, get a ton of season points, and then go blast all those points in the store and get everything you want in like a day. Apparently that's not the way it works. So that's, I guess, a silver lining for this whole thing. But for me, this is the interesting thing. Again, we kind of are dipping into that territory of gameplay enhancing, and it's going to come down to what the rewards truly end up being. So during the live stream and out on Blue Protocol database, they said that those season pass offers are things such as extra currency, Luno, not sure what that is, costumes, gestures, weapon skins, extra gacha tickets, and more. So again, it kind of goes into that territory of, do I feel like I need the premium season pass in order to keep up or complete content? Are they balancing the game around premium pass holders, or are they balancing the game around free pass holders? In my opinion, they're probably going to balance it around premium pass holders and take into account that, yes, let's say a quarter or half the population purchases this premium pass. Therefore, we need to account for the extra crafting materials or the extra currency. So we need to, crank things up and adjust for that. So again, I'm not entirely sure because, like I said, we have like a year until this game comes out. But from what I'm looking at, the monetization seems to be both good and bad, right? There's some areas that I really like. There's other areas that are, they're a little sketchy. And I think we need more information before we make a true decision. But I wanted to get this stuff out in front of you guys to let you either start preparing, understand what Blue Protocol is going to be, or some of you may have not even have ever heard of this game. So I wanted to get it on your radar. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do plan on covering more Blue Protocol stuff as we go through the whole kind of pre-release cycle here. More information is going to be coming out, more dev streams, all of that fun stuff. But I do have some announcements too. So down in the description box below, there's two links. There's one for the Blue Protocol subreddit that has a ton of really great information. Highly recommend going and checking that out. And then also the Blue Protocol official Discord. So while you can visit my channel and get a ton of Blue Protocol information as well, these are some great ongoing sources of information where you can find everything you need to know about Blue Protocol. So guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Vulkan, and I will talk to you guys next time.